Welcome to NFL Imperialism. You may have seen this concept floating around YouTube, but I wanted to put my own spin on it by going through every season in the Super Bowl era and hopefully improving upon it. Before we get going, I humbly ask that you consider subscribing to the channel and dinging that bell icon for notifications. This is the channel's primary series, but we do other things as well in both the sports and the entertainment world. We're so glad you're here. Thank you very much. If you're interested in a full thorough breakdown of how imperialism works, feel free to take a look at the first 3 or so minutes of our initial video of the 1966 season. That video is linked on its own in the description below. Right beneath that is a link to a playlist of all completed imperialism videos to date. Otherwise, we're ready to start. We're jumping into the 1998 season, the NFL's last, with exactly 30 teams, and a year in which the Denver Broncos solidified their win in Super Bowl 32 with a repeat win in Super Bowl 33. Their opponent in that Super Bowl was the surprising Atlanta Falcons, making their first ever appearance in the big game. But both teams were 14-2, and their combined win percentage of .875 remains the highest ever for the two Super Bowl contestants. And yet, neither had the league's best record or lays claim to our #1 overall ranking. That belongs to the 15-1 Minnesota Vikings, a historic offense who were felled at home by the Falcons for the NFC Championship in the infamous Gary Anderson game. Denver is second, Atlanta is fifth, and for the 16th consecutive season, the 49ers rank in the top 4 at number 4, and the Jets escape the bottom 5 to climb all the way to number 3 in their second year under Bill Parcells. It's time to play 1998 NFL Imperialism. Our very first spin of the wheel is going to give us the Philadelphia Eagles, and they're going straight to the field against their division rival, the New York Giants. Tied at 7 in the second quarter, the Eagles have 3rd and 12 on the Giant 30. Bobby Hoying is going to try to squeeze a pass in, and that's intercepted by Conrad Hamilton, and with only offensive linemen giving him chase, he is going to be gone. A 73-yard pick six officially now. The Giants will take a 14-7 lead on the strength of their defense. We now jump ahead to the third quarter. The Giants have the ball. It's 3rd and 9. Danny Cannell will also try to force a pass. That gets picked off by Troy Vincent, and we have dueling pick sixes here. No one's going to catch Vincent. Touchdown Eagles. This game is tied up at 14 apiece. Now we are going to head into the fourth quarter. The Eagles have it, 2nd and 14. Giant 25. Hoying gets rid of the ball to Jeff Graham. He'll keep this drive alive, but the Eagles can only get a field goal, 17-14. Back the other way from the 24. Danny Cannell, quick to run out of the pocket. Taken down. That leads to a field goal. Tied at 17. 3rd and 11 from the 30-yard line. Hoying is strip sacked by Michael Strahan. That ball is loose. He picks it up, and he's going to run it down to the 6-yard line. With time left on the clock, the Giants are going to take a shot or two at the end zone. Cannell throws across the middle, but Brian Dawkins is there to pick it off. What a wasted opportunity, and this turnover-filled battle has gone into overtime, tied up at 17 apiece. The Eagles get the ball first in OT. Hoying is going to drop back. Strahan comes in again and gets the strip sack. Deja vu all over again. The Giants run it back to about the same spot on the field, but they're not wasting any time. Brad Dalowiso will come out for the 25-yard field goal. Cool as you like it. Makes it, and the Giants win this game in overtime 20-17. The game itself may have been sloppy, but at the end of the day, it was exciting and a great way to start off 1998 Imperialism. The Giants defend their land, will take over the land of the Philadelphia Eagles, and our first game is in the books. No rest for the weary. The Giants are brought right back onto the field, this time in Pittsburgh against the Steelers. We're tied at 3 in the fourth quarter, but the Giants have finally gotten the offense moving. From the Steelers 6, Danny Cannell will find Ike Hilliard making the catch in the back of the end zone, the game's first touchdown. The Giants will take a 10-3 lead. The Steelers attempting their comeback now. Cordell Stewart is under center. Play action. He will drop back, throw to Courtney Hawkins. He'll make the catch in double coverage, but they quickly fall back to a 3rd and 16. Just inside midfield, Stewart's going to roll out, dump it to Jerome Bettis. He will not get the first down. That gets them into field goal range. The Steelers will call timeout, and they will indeed try the long field goal. Norm Johnson, a great kicker. This will be from 56 yards out. Snap, hold, kick. Johnson puts it up. It's got the leg, and it's good. That'll cut it down to 10-6. The Steelers will now try the onside kick, laying it down. The Giants can't get it. The Steelers recover, but quickly they fall behind again. 4th and 13. Stewart's going to give it a shot. Downfield single coverage to Charles Johnson. It's knocked away. The Giants will run out the clock and come out with the 10-6 victory. The Giants have been one of the least successful teams in Imperialism over the years, but they've won the first 2 this season. They will take over the Pittsburgh Steelers territory, and they have systematically eliminated the state of Pennsylvania. The in-state battle from Missouri is on. The Chiefs will travel to St. Louis and play the Rams. KC leads 14-7 very late in the third quarter. From the Rams 17, Gannon has time in the pocket, finds Derek Alexander, who will run it in the rest of the way, giving the Chiefs a 2-score lead of 21-7. The teams will exchange touchdowns in the fourth quarter to no avail for the Rams. They come out on the losing end of this one, 28-14. We start with a couple of thrillers, but the Chiefs win this one rather handily. They will take over the Rams' territory and now own the state of Missouri. We'll spin the wheel. It's going to be landing on Green Bay, and they're heading to the Northeast. The 96 champs and the 97 runner-ups in both the real world and Imperialism will take the field. The Green Bay Packers travel to Detroit to face the Lions. The Packers find themselves down 7-3 in the third quarter. They're in Detroit territory at the 29. Brett Favre, a perfect pass to Robert Brooks. He'll take it in the rest of the way, and Green Bay has taken the lead from the Lions at 10-7. They tack on a couple of field goals. The Lions drive it down deep. They need 7 and 3, but on fourth down, they're going for the touchdown. Reggie White breaks through the line and will not let that happen. He gets the sack, and the Packers are going to hold on to that 16-7 score for the final victory. The Packers were outdone for the division in '98 by the Vikings, but they were still excellent and a playoff team. They go into Detroit and take over their territory and expand their land. After some expansion, the Patriots get an early invite onto the field. They will travel to Buffalo to face the Bills. The Bills lead 7-6 in the third quarter from the Patriot 14-yard line. Both teams make adjustments at the line. Quarterback Doug Flutie, play action, rolls out, will find Andre Reed. Touchdown Buffalo, extending the lead to 14-6. The Patriots have been settling for Adam Vinatieri field goals today. Down by 8, they'll be looking to rectify that here on 3rd and 3. Shotgun snap to Drew Bledsoe. He holds it too long and he's taken down by Ted Washington. And with 16 seconds remaining in the third quarter, the Patriots are going to go ahead and bring Vinatieri out again. He's been solid for them all game. This is going to be from 38 yards out. This isn't the most perfect kick, but it does go through, and the Patriots cut the lead down to 14-9. They have it again now. It's 4th and 8 with 50 seconds to go. They run the ball to Robert Edwards for some reason, and what a way to end the game for the Patriots. They're going to take the loss here, 14-9. The Bills' defense kept the Patriots' offense out of the end zone, and with that, they pick up the win. They will take over the New England Patriots territory, and we have now eliminated 5 teams in 98 Imperialism. The close proximity between the Ravens and the Redskins means that arrow still hits the Redskin territory. Once again, dressed up as the Browns, the Ravens will take the field against Washington. The Ravens trail 3-0 late in the first half, trying to get on the board. Jim Harbaugh is going to look downfield for Michael Jackson, extends out, makes a leaping catch for the touchdown. Great play. That'll give Baltimore a 7-3 lead. Now in the third quarter, Washington looking to respond. From the Cleveland 22, Trent Green drops a perfect dime to Leslie Shepard. Touchdown Washington. They will retake the lead at 10-7. It's now Baltimore's turn to respond. We're still in the third quarter. They've taken it down to the 12-yard line. Both teams make changes at the line. This handoff goes to Priest Holmes up the middle, spins right through a couple of defenders, and giving the Ravens another touchdown to make it 14-10. Now the game's gone defensive. It's still 14-10 late in the fourth quarter. Washington, 4th and 3. They're going to try a run play up the middle. It gets blown up immediately, and the Ravens are going to be able to hold on to another close game here in Imperialism, 14-10 final. The scoreboard hasn't been spinning, but the games are close. The Ravens will take over the Redskins' territory, knocking their neighbors out of the game. The Colts will play the Bengals in Cincinnati in a battle of two 3-13 teams that will mark Peyton Manning's debut in Imperialism. The teams quickly exchange touchdowns in the first quarter. Neil O'Donnell finds Tony McGee, and then this delayed handoff to Marshall Faulk will tie things up at 7 apiece in the first quarter. So the teams weren't very good, but they have come out fighting. The Bengals have added a field goal here. The Colts trail 10-7. Lamont Warren is in for the injured Marshall Faulk. He'll take the carry around right end. He doesn't have Faulk's explosion, but he's able to score the touchdown to make this a 14-10 game for the Colts. That's the halftime score. The Bengals will open the third quarter with Neil O'Donnell under center. He's going to look downfield for Tony McGee. He will go up and get it, and that tight end is rumbling down the field. The Colts eventually track him down at the 27-yard line. They've moved it up. It's 3rd and 3 from the 9. The pressure is coming. O'Donnell gets it off, but it's picked off in the end zone by Jason Belzer. Wasted opportunity for the Bengals. Can the Colts take advantage? They've moved the ball up to the Bengal 44-yard line. Peyton Manning's going to look downfield. He's going to look for his tight end, Ken Dilger. Goes up, makes the catch, and picks up a few extra yards down to the 11-yard line. He finally goes down. The Colts now have it at the 6. Play action to Lamont Warren. The pass will go to Lamont Warren for the touchdown. The Colts extend the lead to 21-10, and the Bengals chip away with a field goal, 21-13. They have the ball, facing 3rd and short at their own 30-yard line. Corey Dillon looks to pick up the first down. He does, but gets a lot more, taking it close to midfield. The clock keeps ticking with 22 seconds remaining. This is going to be a draw play to Dillon, perhaps to set up one last play, but Dillon has other ideas. He's going to take it into the end zone with 2 seconds remaining, cutting the lead to 21-19. Surely the AI of this game will know to go for 2 points here. and they will be going for the 2. The Bengals line up in shotgun. This is going to be a delayed handoff to Brian Mill. They hold him up. He breaks the tackle but dives and comes up short. And that will do it. The Colts escape with a 21-19 victory. At 3-13, these teams were evenly matched and it gave us a great game. The Colts stand them up on the 2 on the last play. They will take over the Bengals territory, and the first victory for the Colts under the Peyton Manning era is secured. The wheel is in motion. It's going to be landing on the Denver Broncos. They're going to head south, so we're going to get the champ Broncos on the field for the first time in Arizona against the Cardinals. Denver leads by 8 from the Arizona 8 in the fourth quarter. John Elway has all kinds of time in the pocket, finds the hole in the zone to Shannon Sharp for the touchdown, putting the Broncos ahead 28-13. The Cardinals are going to score late to make it closer. That said, though, the Broncos trail this game at halftime. They get out of here with a 28-20 victory. The Broncos begin the defense of their Super Bowl and Imperialism titles. They will take over the Cardinals' territory, and it looks like they have the largest piece of land in the nation right now. Back to the wheel we go. It's going to be the Green Bay Packers. We're going to get a photo finish, and the Packers look like they wanted Iowa, but instead they're going to hit the territory of the Vikings. They're going to take the road to play our top-ranked team. The Vikings are on the edge of the goal line in the third quarter. They only lead by 5, but this pitch to Robert Smith will go in for the touchdown, which will extend that lead to 12. The Vikings are on top right here, 27-15. From here, the floodgates really opened up, and the Vikings walk away with a fairly easy 40-15 final score. That Vikings offense really is something else. Rookie Randy Moss in his Imperialism debut had just under 200 yards receiving in this game. The Minnesota Vikings will take over the territory of the Green Bay Packers, and there's a lot of good teams out there this season, but the Vikings stand as the current favorite. No time to waste. We're getting right back on the field. This wheel will land on the Cowboys, and they're going to head into the Broncos territory. We just talked about the Vikings as a favorite. Clearly the Broncos are too. Let's get to this game. The Broncos hold a 17-3 lead in the third quarter. Bubby Brister is in for the injured John Elway, and he drops a perfect deep ball to Rod Smith. Makes the catch at the 35-yard line and runs it in the rest of the way for the touchdown. They don't miss a beat with that Elway there. A 79-yard touchdown strike. The teams will exchange touchdowns in the fourth quarter. Denver comes away with a 31-10 victory. It seems inevitable that at one point in this Imperialism, the Broncos will have to play the Vikings, and vice versa. In the meantime, the Broncos take over the state of Texas and extend their largest land in the country. Talking about favorites, the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to travel to the reigning NFC champion Atlanta Falcons. Let's see how they stand up in their first game. It's looking a little dicey for Atlanta. They lead 14-10, but the Jaguars are at the 2-yard line. Mark Brunell is going to throw this touchdown pass to Jimmy Smith, and in the third quarter, the Jaguars have taken a 17-14 lead. Atlanta won't be held down, though. In the fourth quarter now, Chris Chandler is going to look deep for Terrence Mathis. He'll make the catch for the touchdown, and those two are going to connect one more time before the game is over. Those two Chandler to Mathis touchdowns give Atlanta a 28-17 lead late in the game, and 28-17 will indeed serve as the final score of this game. So Atlanta's first trip onto the field in 1998 will result in a victory. They will take over the territory of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we've got to admit, this is a more open Imperialism than we may have thought. Teams are dropping like flies in this season's Imperialism. The Saints are up next, and they're going to face a challenge not to be another one of those that drop. They've got to go to Denver to face the Broncos. The Broncos are deep inside the 1 yard line in the second quarter. They already lead 10-0. Terrell Davis plunges into the end zone to extend that lead to 17-0. The Saints, they did what they could in this one, but the Broncos in Denver was a tall task. The score was only as close as it was because Denver kicked so many field goals. That said, they win 30-10. The Broncos continue munching up land. They go into Louisiana and take that territory over, and they look like they're on a mission to win as many games as they can this season. We've seen 12 teams now get eliminated, and next up on the wheel will be the Bills, and they're going to travel down south. So the New York Giants won the first 2 games this season. They're being brought back onto the field to host Buffalo. The Giants have kept this close, but the Bills are threatening to score. Up by 4 points, Doug Flutie faces a lot of pressure, but gets the pass off to Andre Reed for the touchdown. The Bills, who led 17-13 before that play, now take a 24-13 lead, and they're going to wrap this up with a 31-13 final. The Giants did well to win twice this season, but win 3 times they will not. The Bills will take over their territory, and the only team left in the Northeast are the Jets, but they are a top 5 team. We continue to plow forward. We're going to get another one of our favorites on the field. The 49ers will travel to the south to face the Oakland Raiders. We're tied up at 7 in the third quarter. The 49ers have the ball at the Oakland 20. Garrison Hurst will go off left tackle, cut back in, and he's going to wind up going untouched for the 20-yard score. The Niners have given themselves a 14-7 lead. They get the ball back, and there's still time left in the quarter. 2nd and 4. They're going to play action to Hurst. Jerry Rice is going to run a delayed route and catch the pass for the touchdown. The Niners get out now to a 21-7 lead. The Raiders get the ball back and have slowly driven it down. It is in the fourth quarter. They're at the 49er 22. This short pass is going to go to James Jett. He's going to turn on the speed and run it down to about the 3-yard line. 2 plays later, Napoleon Kaufman is going to take the carry into the end zone. The Raiders have made this a closer game. It is 21-14. There's still time left in the quarter. Will they go for the onside kick? They do. The 49ers look unprepared for it, and the Raiders get it. They advance to the 25-yard line. It's 3rd and 10. Jeff George. He's now going to look deep to James Jett, and he's going to make the catch. And the Raiders, they kind of look dead in the water there. But with this touchdown, they're going to tie this game up at 21 apiece. Or are they? They're going to be going for 2 here. They've got the momentum, and they want to carry that over. Let's see what they have planned here. They're in the T formation. This handoff is going to go to John Ritchie. They hold him up, and he drags his way in. The Raiders lead, and now the shell-shocked 49ers are facing 4th and 10 with 28 seconds to go. Steve Young's going to fire across the middle to Garrison Hurst. The Raiders arrive to knock it down, and they make a spectacular comeback to win this game, 22-21. This is all too familiar for the 49ers. The Raiders executed another miraculous comeback against them in the '93 Imperialism season. Go check that out if you haven't seen it or don't remember. That said, the Raiders will take over the 49ers territory, and our first top 5 team has been eliminated. We hadn't seen any expansion in a while, but after getting some of that done, the Vikings are back on the warpath. They're heading to Kansas City to face the Chiefs. The Chiefs have been in this game, but they've settled for too many field goals. They trail 14-9. Randall Cunningham will find Andrew Glover in the middle of the galaxy of stars around him for the touchdown. That will make this a 21-9 game. The Vikings defense clamped it down from this point forward, and they win this game 30-9. That Viking defense bent, but it never broke. They will take over the Chiefs' territory, and they're starting to rival the Broncos a little bit for the largest land in the nation. We've now eliminated half the teams in 1998 Imperialism. We're going to get a new matchup here. The Ravens are drawn to go south and face off with the Panthers. Damian Craig is in at quarterback for the injured Kerry Collins. He will give some play action here. He will hold the ball too long. Michael McCrary will get the sack, force the fumble, recover the fumble, and run it back in for the touchdown. It's the grand slam of stats there. That gives the Ravens a 17-7 lead, and in this defensive battle, 17-7 will serve as the game's final score. The Panthers scored their one touchdown in this game on defense as well. The Ravens were the only team to score a touchdown on offense. A win is a win. The Ravens will take over the Panthers' territory and will bring that excellent defense further into the game. Back to the wheel we go. It's going to be landing on the Tennessee Oilers. They're going to head to the north. So we got one team with a weird landmass taking on another team with a weird landmass to combine to make one weird landmass. The Oilers will travel to Chicago to face the Bears. The Oilers hold a 21-3 lead and they're deep in Chicago territory. Direct snap will go to Eddie George and he's going to dive in for the touchdown. Tennessee will extend their lead here to 28-13. The Bears tried to make some noise in the end, but it wasn't nearly enough, and Tennessee wins this game 31-20. And that right there was a first-time statement in imperialism. The Oilers get their first win in Tennessee. They take over the Bears' territory, and as promised, they have a weird landmass. We're looking to get back on the field. The surrounded Tampa Bay Buccaneers will give us that. They will head north and catch the southeastern corner of the Falcons' territory. That game is now. The Falcons have been in control of this game from the outset. Already leading 20-7, Jamal Anderson will get this 1-yard touchdown run to push the Falcons' lead even further to 27-7. The Bucs tried to make a comeback. It was way too little, way too late. Atlanta wins this game 30-14. The NFC champion Falcons continue to win. They will take over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers territory, inching even further into Florida. We continue on, and certainly the Broncos are not shy about playing. With all this opportunity to expand, they instead head straight east and hit the territory of the Oilers. They were able to get their first win in Tennessee. Getting the second one's going to be tough. And the Broncos do lead this game by a score of 14-0. Handoff goes to Terrell Davis, turns into a reverse to Rod Smith. They bid on it, and Smith was able to get into the end zone. Touchdown Denver. They take a commanding 21-0 lead. The Oilers offense did pick it up, but it was too little, too late. The Broncos take it by a score of 38-25. With this victory, the Broncos will take over the Oilers' territory, leaving a significant border now with the Vikings. It's been a while since we've headed out west. The wheel will take us there now. The Chargers are selected. They'll head slightly northwest. It's going to run into the territory of the Oakland Raiders. The Chargers will get the ball first at their own 25-yard line. This is going to be a reverse to Charlie Jones. He's getting out from behind the backfield, but Anthony Newman strips him of the ball. The Raiders recover, run it back to the 20-yard line. A couple of plays later, this touchdown pass goes from Jeff George to Ricky Dudley. Well-placed pass, that one. The Raiders take a 7-0 lead, and with Ryan Leaf leading the way for a terrible offense, that was more than enough. The Raiders take a 20-0 shutout. This was a dark period for the Chargers. The Raiders take them out of their misery, take over the territory, and along with the Seahawks, have the most land in the West when you consider how deep east the Broncos have expanded. It looks like the Seahawks were trying to expand into Montana, but this photo finish tells us that they're entering the territory of the Denver Broncos. The Broncos scored 2 touchdowns in the first quarter and are looking to get another one in the third. This draw play to Terrell Davis, easy walk-in score, gives the Broncos a 21-0 lead. In reality, Seattle was no match for the reigning Super Bowl champions, and the Broncos run it up on them 49-14. At this point, the Broncos are simply on a rampage. This is their 5th victory in Imperialism this season. They will take over the Seattle Seahawks territory, and their land reaches from Seattle all the way around into eastern Kentucky and Tennessee. The New York Jets are being brought into the game for the first time. This top 3 team heads to Buffalo to face off with their division rivals, the Bills. Buffalo leads 7-6 in the third quarter. Inside the Jet 20-yard line, the handoff goes to Antoine Smith, and he shows some moves, gets his way into the end zone, extending the Buffalo lead to 14-6. The Jets offense has been quite stagnant so far, but they're trying to make their move now. With very little time left in the third quarter, Vinny Testaverde fires deep to star receiver Wayne Corbett, makes the catch and picks up a few extra yards after the catch. We now flip sides in the fourth quarter. From the Bill 23-yard line, Testaverde's going to find his other star receiver, Keyshawn Johnson. That will be a Jets touchdown. It's still early enough in the fourth quarter, they decided to kick the extra point. It's 14-13. Buffalo has it just inside midfield. 4 minutes and change to go. Doug Flutie, he's going to fire to Eric Mold, and he takes off. Gets away from many tacklers here, and he's about to score, but he gets tackled inside the 1-yard line. On first and goal, the Bills will get stuffed. On second and goal, Antoine Smith gets about half of it back, but gets stopped. On third and goal, Thurman Thomas is going to get close, but he's stopped at the 1-yard line, and Buffalo's going to choose to kick the field goal here, despite being 1 yard away. This is going to be shorter than an extra point, 19 yards. The Jets bring the rush, threaten to block it. That makes the kick go awry, but it still goes in. So the Jets now trail by 4 with 2:38 to go. Play action, Testaverde holds it, lets it go, looks deep for Corbett. He'll make the catch at the 24-yard line. The very next play, from the slot here, Dedrick Ward is going to stop, and Testaverde's going to find him. He is going to push through a tackle, get away from another, and get into the end zone. This will give the Jets their first lead of the game, 20-17. The Bills now trail by 3. 1:37 to go. Flutie drops back, throws to Thurman Thomas, and he'll pick up some nice yardage, gets inside the 50. On second and 9 now, from the shotgun, Flutie, he is going to look right. That is Eric Mold, and he makes the catch in double coverage. They're in field goal range now, but they're going to try to take a couple of shots at the end zone. From the 29, Flutie will again go to Mold, and he is catching everything. Easy field goal range now. On first down, 47 seconds to go. This is play action. Flutie's going to look for Andre Reed. They've connected so much, but that was incomplete. On second and 10, both teams making changes at the line. A pitch to Antoine Smith, pushing through, fighting for yards. As he does so, the clock continues to tick. He will finally go down here. Will the Bills send out the field goal unit? They will not. After settling for the field goal earlier, they're going to go for the touchdown now. From the 8-yard line, 2 seconds to go. Swing pass to Antoine Smith, and he's able to get into the end zone with time reading zeros. The Bills at home are able to hold on to this one, and in a thriller, literally in the last seconds, win this game 23-20. And even though they were the visiting team, this was an excellent Jets team, and this is an upset. The Bills don't pick up a lot of land here. They take over southern New Jersey, but the victory was bigger than the land acquisition. Well, it won't be for the Imperialism Championship game, but we're getting the Super Bowl 33 rematch right now. The Atlanta Falcons will travel to face the Denver Broncos. The Falcons methodically move the ball down the field. They're at the Denver 22. Jamal Williams will burst through the middle and take it all the way in for the touchdown. The Falcons draw first blood in this game. They've taken a 7-0 lead, but we know all about Denver's offense. They've driven it down to the Atlanta 14-yard line. On second down, Elway is going to look for Shannon Sharp. He'll make the diving catch for the touchdown, and the Broncos have tied things up at 7. Atlanta now on the march. It's in the second quarter. 3rd and 8 from the 8. They have enough room for a first down, but Jamal Anderson isn't thinking about that. He runs it in for his second touchdown of the game. The Falcons lead 14-7. It's now settled into a defensive battle as we enter the third quarter. From the Falcon 28, John Elway. He's going to look for Rod Smith. He goes up and gets it. He gets taken down at the 4-yard line. On the next play, Elway will drop back, roll out, look for Smith again. He finds space in the end zone to make the catch unencumbered, tying this game up at 14. Atlanta's offense is back at it from their own 41-yard line. We're still tied at 14 in the third. Chris Chandler will fire to Tony Martin. He'll make the catch, a leaping catch, and runs it all the way down to the 11-yard line. It is now 3rd and 20 after a sack. Chandler is once again going to look for Martin. He'll make the catch, but he falls short of the first down, and the Falcons are going to settle for a short field goal here. This is going to be from 21 yards from Morton Anderson, but Chandler picks it up and starts to run with it, and he is going to get stopped, and the Falcons waste this opportunity. They've got the ball again in the fourth quarter. Chandler's going to look for O.J. Santiago, and it's intercepted by Steve Atwater, a second wasted opportunity. They now have it again, 3rd and 3 from the 7-yard line. Anderson up the middle is stopped, and he's taken down. The Falcons will kick the field goal, we think. Yes, Anderson's going to kick. It's almost blocked, but he's able to get it up and get it through. The Falcons finally make something of a red zone trip. They lead 17-14. Denver now looking for either a game-tying or game-winning drive. Facing pressure, Rod Smith will make the catch. What a game he's having to this point, but it has come to an end. He is going to leave the game injured, depriving John Elway of his go-to target. It is 3rd and 3, 1:43 to go. Terrell Davis will pick up the first down and quite a bit more, takes it down to about the 29. That is field goal range. On the next play, from the 29, John Elway is going to look for Willie Green, in for the injured Rod Smith, giving the Broncos a touchdown, giving them a 21-17 lead. The Falcons get the ball back. They do nothing with it, and they're going to get out of here, Denver is, with a 21-17 victory. The Falcons only have themselves to blame for this one. They had opportunities to take down the champions, and they couldn't do it. Denver continues gobbling up land by taking over the Falcons' territory. After 2 phenomenal games, we are now going to see the Raiders, and they are surrounded by the Broncos, so that's the only place they can go. Denver's on the doorstep, leading 7-0 already in the second quarter. They're going to slip the handoff to Howard Griffith, and he goes up the middle untouched for the touchdown. That will extend Denver's lead to 14-0. They didn't need to do much after this one. With the Raiders giving a shutout earlier, they take the shutout this time, 17-0. And the Broncos continue racking up victories. That is number 7. They take over the Raiders' territory, and only the Dolphins stand between them and a Seattle to Miami connection. A long round of expansion ends with the Dolphins finally joining the game, and like the Raiders before them, they've got nowhere to go but the Broncos' territory. The Dolphins trail 31-6 in the third quarter and have entered desperation mode. Dan Marino tries to force a pass, it's intercepted by Steve Atwater, and after breaking a tackle, he is off to the races. This is just part of the thorough domination that the Broncos put on the Dolphins in this game. They are looking like a team of destiny for sure. The final score here is Denver 45, Miami 6. That final roadblock to the Seattle-Miami connection has now been overcome. The Broncos take over Miami's fairly small territory and bring us down to our final 5 teams. This next spin of the wheel will be landing on the Buffalo Bills. That was close. They're going to head south, setting up a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. The Ravens have been brought to this point by their defense, but it hasn't been performing great today. They back up trying to defend the pass. Indeed, it's a play action, but Andre Reed is going to make this catch in the back of the end zone over the defender, giving Buffalo a 21-3 lead. Baltimore's offense couldn't do anything else. Buffalo did some more damage in the fourth and come away with a 31-3 road victory. It would have been a tough ask for the Ravens to get further than they did, but making the final 5 was impressive. The Bills will take over their territory. They're a playoff team. Minnesota and Denver are the top 2 teams in our rankings, and the bottom 5 Indianapolis Colts are still alive. It needed a photo finish, but the Vikings will bypass the state of Kansas and slide into the territory of the Denver Broncos. After sharing a border for quite a while here, we're going to get the Super Bowl that never was. Minnesota versus Denver. The Broncos made a stirring fourth quarter comeback to tie this game up at 34 to send it into overtime. However, after all that scoring in regulation, neither team managed to dent the scoreboard in overtime, leaving us with a 34-34 tie. We don't do ties in Imperialism, so the best thing we thought to do was to replay this game. The Vikings are trailing this game 21-10 in the third quarter. The Broncos bring the defense up, so the Vikings change their play. Randall Cunningham will now drop back to pass, and he'll fire to Randy Moss in the end zone for the touchdown. That will bring the Vikings closer. They still trail 21-17. Denver has moved the ball now all the way deep into Minnesota territory. On 3rd and goal, the pitch to Terrell Davis is stopped at the 1-yard line. And as has been the case for many teams in this season's Imperialism, they're going to be settling for the very short field goal. Jason Elam will come out for the 19-yarder. The Vikings threaten to block it. They do not, and Elam will make the kick. 24-17. Minnesota now has the ball. Randall Cunningham has 4:17 to work with here. He is going to be looking to his main man, Randy Moss, but that's intercepted by Bronco corner Ray Crockett. And he's going to get a pretty decent return on that to the 41-yard line. The Broncos take immediate advantage. Touchdown pass to Rod Smith. Cunningham's going to try Moss again. Again, it's intercepted by Ray Crockett, his second of the game. And again, the Broncos will take immediate advantage. The touchdown pass to Ed McCaffrey. This game ended in a tie the first time we played it. But on replay, the Broncos walk away with a fairly easy 38-17 win. That tie might be controversial to some, understood, but when we played the game again, the Broncos had no trouble winning it. They will take over the territory of the Minnesota Vikings, and only the Colts and the Bills stand in the way of a Bronco repeat. And of these three teams, the wheel will select the Bills, sending them west, slightly northwest, gonna hit the territory of the Indianapolis Colts. That will send the Broncos to the championship game. They will face the winner of this one. The Bills look to strike first and strike quick. From inside the 1 yard line, handoff to Thurman Thomas, a walk-in touchdown. Buffalo will go into Indy and take a 7-0 lead. Now the Colts offense is on the field and they've been moving the ball. They've got it to the 22 yard line. It's 2nd and long. The pitch goes to Marshall Faulk. He's thinking more than just the first down. He gets all the way in. The Colts respond and tie this game up at 7 apiece. Will the back and forth continue now? Buffalo has the ball. They've driven it down to the Colt 5 yard line. In the second quarter, Doug Flutie looks to the back of the end zone, finds Eric Moulds, secures the catch, reestablishing Buffalo with a 7-point lead. It's 14-7, but the Colts, they don't plan on going away. They've taken it down inside the 1 yard line. 3rd and goal. Marshall Faulk up the middle, grabs his second touchdown, tying things up at 14. There is still time left in the first half, and Buffalo will have the ball trying to do something with it. From their own 45 yard line, Flutie, he's going to look for Eric Moulds, leads him nicely, makes the catch. The Bills can't get too much further, and with time ticking away, Steve Christie will kick this field goal. 17-14 is our halftime score. In the third quarter now, Buffalo just past midfield. Flutie, he's going to look for Eric Moulds. A bad pass that Moulds has to come back for. He will make the catch, but that could have easily been a touchdown had it been a better throw. 3rd and goal from the 6 yard line. Flutie will once again look to the back of the end zone. It's too far for Reed to get himself in bounds. Incomplete. The Bills will settle for the field goal. Steve Christie puts it through. It's now 20-14. The Colts are backed up their own 15 yard line. Time ticking away in the third quarter. Peyton Manning has time in the pocket. He's going to fire it deep to Torrance Small, about 50 plus yards down the field, and the Colts are going to take it from one 15 yard line to the other. Now in the fourth quarter, 1st and goal from the 3. It's going to be Marshall Faulk, his 3rd touchdown of the game. One went right, one up the middle. That one went to the left. The Colts take the lead, 21-20. They now have the ball again and trying to salt it away. Marshall Faulk is continuing his amazing game. Gets a lot of yards here, but Kurt Schultz knocks the ball loose. Oh my goodness, he's been the hero all day. Now he might be the GOAT. Faulk gives it away. The Bills have it. Flutie's going to look downfield and settle for the swing pass to Antoine Smith. Extends out to make the catch and picks up some nice yardage. The Bills are nearing field goal range. From the 37 yard line, Flutie will drop back. He will throw it up for Eric Moulds, and he will go up to make the catch. Definitely in field goal range now. Will they take some shots at the end zone? It's 3rd and 4. Flutie is now dropping back, looking across the middle to Lonnie Johnson. Bad throw, lucky it wasn't intercepted. So with under a minute to go, Christie will come out for his 3rd field goal of the game, and it is good. The Colts now will have a chance to take the lead. They only need 3 from their own 29 yard line. Peyton Manning looks for Marvin Harrison. He'll make the catch. Doesn't get a lot of yards, and now the Colts are stuck where they're too far for a field goal. 11 seconds to go. This is it. Manning, he's going to look for Harrison short. Harrison will make the catch, but he runs away. He escapes, and he has a chance to get this to the end zone, but they get him down at the 2 yard line. 2 points, 2 yards. Buffalo escapes with the victory, 23-21. An unbelievable end to that game. The Colts almost crashed this championship game with a 3-13 record. Instead, it's gonna be Buffalo and Denver, a rematch of the 93 game that Buffalo won. Denver looking for that repeat. Let's get this game on the field. We just gotta spin the wheel and find out which field it will be on. Here is that spin, and it's going to be landing on Buffalo, so they're going to be doing the attacking. This game will be in Denver, and it will be for the 98 Imperialism title. The Broncos will start the game with the ball and looking to establish their offense from the jump. John Elway throws a deep crosser to Rod Smith. He makes the catch between defenders and is able to take off for some extra yardage. This will now set the Broncos up at the 20-yard line. John Elway will drop back, and he's going to be looking again for Rod Smith. Touchdown, Denver. Smith's having an amazing Imperialism. The Broncos jump out to a 7-0 lead. The gauntlet has been laid down for Buffalo. Can they respond? They're at midfield, facing a 2nd and 7. This delayed handoff goes to Thurman Thomas. He goes up the middle and gets away from so many people. A younger Thurman Thomas probably scores this touchdown. Instead, he gets down to the 7-yard line. It's now 2nd and goal from the 2. Doug Flutie looks for Andre Reed, gets his feet down, scores the touchdown. Buffalo does indeed respond, tying this game up at 7 apiece. Denver will now look to respond themselves, but they're being forced into a punt from just behind midfield. It's a fake punt, though. Terrell Davis is going to pick up some big yardage. Unbelievable play call. Gutsy by the Broncos. 28 yards. Will they be able to take advantage? They're at the 25-yard line. The pass is going to go to Rod Smith. A diving touchdown catch. Smith does it again. The Broncos now lead this game 14-7, and their defense has gotten them the ball back. They're backed up at 3rd and 10, though, their own 40-yard line. They're going to give to Terrell Davis, and he's going to get the first down and a lot more. 20-plus yards on the game finally goes down. They've now moved it up to the 22-yard line. The Chiefs bring the defense all the way up. Davis is able to beat that wave of tacklers, get to the sideline, and punch his way into the end zone. The Broncos extend their lead to 21-7. The Bills will need to respond here before the half expires. They do have time. They're in Buffalo territory at the 35. Flutie is going to get rid of this ball to Andre Reed. He's going to skate down to the 1-yard line, and the Bills are unable to get this into the end zone, having to settle for the chip shot field goal. They do make it, and they're going to cut the lead to 21-10 going into the half. Buffalo will get the ball first in the second half. They're at their own 40-yard line. Doug Flutie, he's going to look for Andre Reed. He gets downfield, makes another great play close to the 20-yard line. Buffalo now have a first down from the 24. Flutie will give it to Thurman Thomas. He's going to close in on the 10-yard line, but that ball is loose. Darian Gordon will force the fumble. Denver will recover, and this is going to give the Broncos a chance to put this game away. 3 minutes left to go in the quarter. Elway is going to look for Rod Smith. He overthrows him, and Ken Irvin will make the interception, giving Buffalo new life. On 3rd and 9 here, from just outside the 20-yard line, they're going to try Thurman Thomas on the run, and that's not going to pick up the yardage they need. They're going to settle for another field goal. That does cut the lead down 21-13, a one-possession game, and Buffalo has that possession now. They're at their own 39-yard line. Play action. Flutie's going to look deep to Andre Reed. He goes up and gets it, and once again, a long reception for Reed. The Bills cannot be settling for a field goal here. It's 3rd and 11. Play action. Flutie's going to go to the end zone. A perfectly placed pass. Andre Reed, who else, gets the touchdown. With time still left in the game, the Bills are just going to kick the extra point. So it's 21-20. Denver now has it 3rd and 5. Got to get this offense into gear. They're going to give it to Howard Griffith, and he will not pick up the first. So Jason Elam's going to try to extend this to a 4-point game. The kick is up. It is good. So it is 24-20. Buffalo now has a chance to complete the comeback. It's 3rd and 17. Flutie is just able to get rid of this ball, and Eric Moulds will make the catch and take it down to midfield. 2:16 to go. Buffalo's in a pretty good spot here. Flutie is going to once again look for Moulds, but it's overthrown, and that's Ray Crockett making the interception. He had 2 against the Vikings, and that will put a big crimp into Buffalo's chances, but they will get it back. They're all the way at their own 31. 49 seconds to go. This crosser goes to Moulds. He makes the catch and gets a lot of yards. Gets it down to past the 20-yard line. 22 seconds left to go. Can they do this? Now 18 seconds after getting the play call in. Flutie is going to look to Thurman Thomas in the end zone. It's knocked away. 5 seconds left. This is it. In the shotgun, Flutie. He's going to get it out to Eric Moulds. He's going to make the catch, but he's taken down at the 4-yard line. 4 points, 4 yards, and an almost carbon copy of their victory over the Colts. The Bills will take the loss. The Broncos win it 24-20. And with that victory, essentially tripping over themselves to get to it, the Broncos do the deed. They complete the journey, and they have taken over the United States and are 1998's imperialism champions. When the Broncos won Super Bowl 33, it was the 7th time a team won back-to-back Super Bowls. None of those teams were able to pull that off in imperialism, with the 88-89 49ers coming closest. The 97-98 Broncos now become the first team to achieve that feat, defeating the Bills in the imperialism title game, a rematch of the 93 game. Another spectacular performance all around by the Broncos with another spectacular roster. The offense remained essentially the same, with just a couple of changes to the offensive line, which was still the league's best. Terrell Davis was the MVP of the league with a 2,000-yard rushing season behind that O-line, and Rod Smith feasted on secondaries all the way throughout. The defense was also remarkably similar to the season before, but unheralded names such as Ma'a Tanuvasa, Glenn Cadrez, and especially Ray Crockett stepped their game way up. Crockett made an interception in the title game and got 2 in that massive win over the Vikings. Our games in 1998 started off lower scoring but very close, with the very first contest going to overtime and the Raiders defeating the 49ers by a single point on a 2-point conversion. The close nature of games returned toward the end of the season, with the Buffalo Bills taking 3 separate games all the way down to the very last play. They won 2 of those games, including against the Colts, to qualify for the title game, but lost the one that mattered most in the title game to the Broncos. Speaking of the Broncos, they tie the 1995 Bears with the most wins in a single imperialism, wrapping up a perfect 10-0 record. For the second straight season, no one won more than 2 games outside of the title game participants, with the Bills taking down 5 separate victories. The Vikings will be annoyed by their 2 wins this season, but those 2 wins took them back to the top of the overall standings with 59 total, agonizingly close to 60. The Broncos have powered their way to a winning record by going 14-0 the last 2 seasons, giving us an all-time high of 14 different teams with a winning record. Thank you so much for making it to this point in the video. We'll be wrapping up the 90s when we come back next time. If you haven't done so already, please consider giving the video a like, sharing with some friends, and subscribing to the channel. Let's take another look at the map of orange representing the Denver Broncos' second consecutive imperialism title, joining the 69-70 Vikings, 71-72 Redskins, and the 94-95 49ers as the only teams to do so. They won't be favored to three-peat in 1999, but anything is possible. We look forward to seeing how that shakes out. Thank you again so much for joining us, and I hope you have an awesome day.